Hello everybody and welcome to Anime Updated's review of Akame ga Kill Volume 10. Now, quick disclaimer here, Akame ga Kill is possibly one of my favorite series of all time. As you can see, got them all there except 9's away for the moment. So I may have a little bias towards this, but I'm going to give you guys my honest feelings about this when it came out. Came out last week. I read it first day and I'm ready to give my full honest opinion of how it was when it first came out. So without further ado, let's get right to it. So basically, just a really long story short, this is possibly my favorite volume in the entire series. It is such an emotional roller coaster, from making you really happy to making you sad to happy again, and up and down the entire time. Now, depending on how you like that or not is going to really gauge what you actually want. I mean, if you're looking for something that can swing you around like that, then this is really the one that you want. If not, then I mean, I don't know. It's a very important issue too. A lot happens. So if you only watch the anime though, I recommend reading this, because this has completely new content from the anime. Like, nothing that happened in the anime happens here. This is really the one that completely branched off. Volume 9 had a little branching, but not as much as this. This is completely different. So I highly recommend checking into this before anywhere else. As far as the content of it goes, I mean, Akame ga Kill has always been a very character-driven manga. It relies very heavily on its characters to progress the story, and not so much not really locale, but it's just a very character-driven story. And what I really like about Akame ga Kill is that you get a sense of almost every minor character's reasoning or backstory or something about them. You always know what makes them tick. And it's no exception for this. And in this volume, Night Raid is hardly even at the center stage. It's more so the Jaegers and their feud with a new internal struggle with another police force made by the minister's son, called the Wild Hunt. And it's really interesting to see where that feud goes, because we get the first sense of an internal struggle. I mean, even in the anime, when that was done, I mean, Wave kind of questioned it, and Run was always a meh thing with it, but never to this extent. So it's very important to get this one. Oh, also, General Budo comes back. That's something cool to look at too, because he really threatens the minister too, pretty much. So as far as that goes, it really pulls you in from the second you start reading it, because it opens with this new scene of this new band that we're gonna see, of just the minister's son and all his gang, and them obviously butting heads with the Jaegers, and since the Jaegers are depleted, they kind of are a little outmanned. So it's really neat. So just a quick recap of everything about this. This is probably the best volume to come out to date, including, I mean, 1 through 10. It's possibly, it's really my favorite one to come out. I think the only other one you could argue is maybe the first one, I would say. Could be tied. Other than that, this is hands down, I would think, close to a perfect volume, honestly. It's just so emotionally grabbing, and it just really pulls you in from start to finish, and you really, really want to know what happens at the end, especially, because it sets up something that I really wish the anime did, And I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who hasn't watched it, or read it in this case. But I really wish the anime actually did what the very end of this volume did. So that's my honest opinion, guys. It is a fantastic manga, and if you haven't read any of the manga, actually, if you haven't read it all and you've just seen the anime, I recommend, if you want to know where to pick up, start with volume 9, maybe 8, and then read from there, or just read them all from the beginning. It's quite a ride still. But yes, this is possibly the most important volume too, so it gets my recommendation. Alright everybody, this has been Tom, the protagonist from Anime Updated, with my Akame ga Kill review. See you guys next time, and as always, stay updated.